It may seem like forever and a day since we've spoken with you here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. In fact, it's only been 79 between the Gauchos' last game here at Ice in Paradise and this, the first of 2018. Hello, everybody. My name is Evelhoch. I'm joined by Kyle Nicolas here on the Center Ice Santa Barbara pregame show as the Gauchos close out their 2017-18 regular season series against the Santa Rosa Junior College Polar Bears.
And it's good to be back over here. It has indeed been quite a hot minute since we've been on the air. However, the Gauchos have played since we were last on the air with you. Last weekend, they took their annual road trip up to Northern California. A pair of games up there that the Gauchos were able to split. One of those games was against the opponent here today, the Santa Rosa Junior College Polar Bears. UCSB traveling for the first time to Snoopy's home ice, arguably the most interesting building that they're going to play in possibly all year and possibly ever, considering the way that rink is set up, but things nonetheless still went very positively for the Gauchos.
Yeah, UCSB picked up the 15-1 victory. The following night, they would lose in their first ever meeting against San Jose State University, setting UCSB with a 5-4 record on the season. They are 3-2-0 in conference play and face a Santa Rosa team that is 5-18-0, 4-5-0 in conference play. A clear rebuilding year for head coach Nathan Panic's side. You'll remember last season the Gauchos took on these Polar Bears 4 times, each of them epic in their own right. Today, Santa Rosa Junior College comes in with 7 skaters as they've been dealing with a host of injuries. Several players, including their leading scorer, unable to play tonight. Several of them also not making the trip. So, as a result of that, the game will be played with a running clock, as well as having just one ice cut between the second and third periods. Kyle, though, for the Gauchos, having their full host of players, this seems like exactly the kind of game where some of the unheralded, if you will, players will have the opportunity to shine and step forward and be given bigger roles by head coach Scott Hires and assistants Ben Brecker and John Owasio.
I would absolutely expect to see a ton of the fourth line for the Gauchos here this afternoon. Expect to see a lot of Jackson Schutz, a lot of Michael Herlihy, and a lot of the only Gaucho who does not yet have a goal this season in Chris Cruz Holloway.
Amongst the forward core.
Amongst the forward core, I should say. Connor May getting his first goal, we should mention, in the first meeting between the two teams. I would expect to see a lot of that fourth line. I think Coach Scott Hires is going to emphasize good, strong team play. Basics, fundamentals, moving the puck smoothly. This is an opportunity the Gauchos have to really work on a lot of their trouble spots that they've had to deal with this season. As you can expect as a young team, anyone's going to have those kinds of quote-unquote growing pains for UCSB. This is a great opportunity to try to work a few of those out here in this game.
And speaking of trouble spots, Kyle, both Santa Barbara and Santa Rosa have been trouble spots in terms of Mother Nature. Santa Rosa dealing with the fires earlier in the year. UCSB and the surrounding area, the mudslides recently as a result of all the rains following the Thomas fire. There's going to be a special ceremony that takes place before today's game where the teams will exchange shirts as well as celebrate with first responders from in and around the area. First responders able to get in free. We'll have a special ceremonial puck drop from the local firehouse as well here in Santa Barbara.
And I don't think we can express our thanks enough to those brave first responders and emergency crews who worked tirelessly 24 hours a day and night, just to try to get the roads back open. And not to mention, even during the fire season, all the amazing firefighters and rescue and emergency crews that just dedicated time and more of their effort into trying to save everything from every house to every person to every animal, all from the Santa Rosa area and even out here around the Ventura County and Santa Barbara County areas. Just so much work that they put in. I don't think we can express our gratitude well enough to those first responders. Great on the Gauchos to let them in and enjoy this one completely free of charge here this afternoon. We are honored to have them here with us. It's going to be great.
Thank you to them. Thank you to you for joining us here on the Center Ice Santa Barbara pregame show. Be sure to come here to Ice in Paradise and pick up a Center Ice flyer. get 25% off on their closeout sale. Visit centericesb.com or visit them at 7127 Hollister Avenue, Suite 8 in Goleta for more information. Well, the special ceremony today, not only are the Gauchos going to honor local first responders, but we're also going to have a special guest by way of KCOY 12 evening news anchor and UCSB grad Scott Hennessy, as well as have the opera professor at UCSB and assistant coach Ben Brecker perform the national anthem.
There is nothing like a Ben Brecker national anthem, man. I'll tell you, it's chill-inducing.
As the colors will be presented by the U.S. Naval Sea Cadets Air Pac Squadron with cadets Kate, Goodson, Ulmer, and Wilcox. It promises to be a special evening here tonight in Santa Barbara. We'll be happy to bring it to you here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. We're just going through the final bits of pregame. So, Kyle, as we get ready for it, do you have a quick key for today's game about how the players can maximize their minutes?
I would say keep a level head, I think, is arguably the most important thing. Obviously, not a whole lot of hockey action for UCSB, but this Santa Rosa team, even though they are shorthanded, is known for playing a very physical brand of hockey. Santa Barbara not one to lie down and turn over easily on that regard, and it can kind of get out of hand, especially if the scoreboard starts running up out of control. Keep a level head, stay out of the penalty box, and just make sure you're executing to the fullest extent that you possibly can. That'll keep the clock rolling over and keep everybody happy and keep everyone from getting injured. Obviously, we know UCLA yesterday canceled because of injuries. It just seems to be the season right now for those. So here's to good health with this one.
Santa Rosa boasting just 7 skaters today. They're not afraid of playing a man down. As we now turn it over to Center Ice and the special pregame festivities here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network.
Looks like we're just waiting on the microphone to be brought out to the scorer's booth, and we should be good to go. Rink manager Larry Bruyere, all the dedicated hard work he does to run this facility here at Ice in Paradise, becoming suddenly a technical support officer, running out with the backup microphone.
So now we turn it over to assistant coach Ben Brecker for today's special pregame ceremony. Just got to plug in that mic.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome KCOY 12 evening news anchor and UCSB graduate Scott Hennessy. Welcome hockey fans to Ice in Paradise in this afternoon's matchup with the Santa Rosa Polar Bears and your UCSB Gauchos. Today is a Thank you. And now introduce the two captains of the Polar Bears and Gauchos to exchange tokens of friendship and mutual respect, having both gone through these events. Thank you, gentlemen. Today we honor and pay tribute to the men and women first responders who put their lives on the line for our safety and protect our property. Many of them are here now, and I want us all to give a huge round of applause to all of our first responders here today. I'd now like to ask Santa Barbara County Fire Captain Dave Tolich to join our team captains here on the ice for a ceremonial puck drop. We now honor America with our national anthem, so please rise and welcome the U.S. Naval Sea Cadets Airback Squadron, Cadets Kate, Goodson, Ulmer, and Wilcox. We're proud to announce today that Cadet Connor Wilcox has been accepted to both the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis and West Point. Congrats, Connor, and good luck. Now to sing our national anthem, internationally acclaimed opera and concert performer, UCSB Professor Benjamin Brecker.
Assistant coach Professor Ben Brecker with the national anthem here today at Ice in Paradise in Goleta as the Gauchos are back at it here on their home rink for the first time in calendar year 2018. Myself, Eric Evelhoch, color commentator Kyle Nicolas, cameraman Jesse Gutierrez, and technical director Jasmine Kellogg. Happy to be with you wherever you're watching around the world on the ice hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network.
Happy to finally be back, I should say.
Kyle, it's only appropriate that the gifts given to the local firehouse taking part in today's pregame ceremonies, a special 75th anniversary Crystal U.S. hockey puck, as well as a Warrior goal stick.
Absolutely. Warrior being probably the brand of choice here as well, not only being very popular with goaltenders, but really exemplifying the spirit of those emergency crews as they had to deal with just an unbelievable disaster in both of these cities. As they mentioned, over 20,000 homes combined destroyed in the fires that impacted the Santa Barbara area as well as the Santa Rosa area over this past summer. So great to be able to finally pay tribute to those special first responders and to be able to have both the cities on hand who are really impacted by it.
Starting goalies for both teams, Will Hahn making his 8th start of the season for UCSB, opposite Miles Kellum. New player for the Gauchos that you just saw play the puck is number 71, Stephen Fleck, a former practice player for the Gauchos. Earned his spot and drew into the lineup, making that road trip up north against the Santa Rosa Junior College Polar Bears and against San Jose State University. His first appearance in the Gaucho blue, gold, and white. Starting line for the Gauchos features Colin Del Bonis with Cooper Spears and Chris Cruz Holloway on the wing. Connor May getting to stand for the anthem as the defense partner for Fleck. As the puck in the near circle, Del Bonis gives it for Spears. Spears tries to play it in front off the back of the net, curls around with it through to the slot, deflected away by Polar Bear captain Matthew Sullivan. Here skates Bobby Rogers into the zone, his slapper, handled by Will Hahn, chases his own rebound. Fleck can't get the puck away. Hahn makes the save on 2 stabs, backhander, and Hahn dives across the goal line to pull it away from Alan Polos.
Well, when you're a goaltender, you like having your first few saves be some of those, fairly routine, kind of far out there, something you can kind of use to get your blood flowing and get the hang of it. That is not the save that Will Hahn just had to make. That was one diving back across the crease, kind of like an old Marty Brodeur, just reaching out in desperation, somehow getting there. Just a 10-bell save to start here for Hahn.
Face-off is controlled by Polos and sends it in. Hahn will hold again for the draw.
So good to see some top-line minutes for Chris Cruz Holloway, really looking to get him his first goal of the season. Cooper Spears mentioning that was going to be one of his goals here for this game this afternoon. Try to get him to open his account here with UCSB.
Puck touch for Polos in the slot, deflected and knocked away by Jackson Schutz. Goldser ladles it ahead and carried into the zone at the near side board. Strategos is passed back, knocked away for a moment, but McGrone will send it back to the Gaucho defense. Rogers on the forecheck as reverse to the near side boards. Stretch pass, touched into the zone by Goldser. Snetzinger can't get it out at the far side boards. McGrone to the slot. No one home, but back to the point for Jackson Schutz. Schutz deflected to Goldser. Captain plays it back to the line. Vieira angles for Strategos. Strategos lobs it in front. A couple swings for the captain, and Snetzinger able to send it away. Vieira back to retrieve. He picked up his first goal of the season in the Gaucho victory over Santa Rosa Junior College. Angled out by Snetzinger. Gaucho's in an offside position. But now after touching back up, skated in and sent wide by Herlihy. Retrieved by Awasia. To the point. Works for Vieira. Vieira, backdoor pass. Went through, but Herlihy comes up with it. Back to the point, the slapper. Miles Kellum kicks it away, the goofy-handed goalie kicking it. Vieira tries to pass it through the area. Giampoli knocked it away. Awasia behind the net. Vieira activating along the near side boards. Plays it behind. Herlihy back for Vieira. Plenty of zone time here for the Gauchos. Played the slot, stubbed off the heel of Jackson Schutz. Giampoli giving pressure, can't get away from Tyler Barone. Vieira to the line for Barone. Walks to the high slot and drops it back for Schutz. Schutz curls with it, drops back for Vieira. Puck deflected, and Stephen McDowell able to get it out to neutral ice with 6:15 and the clock running to go in the first. Schutz curls back. Sends it to the far corner where Owasiak retrieves. Played it to the point, nobody home. Evelhoch has to retrieve at the red line with pressure coming from Rogers. And Rogers comes away with it. Stood up at the blue line, but able to find Polos, who's ridden off the puck by Austin Trenner. Polos angles it behind Emmett Rupert. Big burly defenseman who leads the team in penalty minutes, plays it forward. Thrown to the slot. Couldn't connect with Delbonis in front, and now here comes Bobby Rogers. Winds and fires a slapper over the top. Looking to gather speed through the neutral zone, Connor Harrison had it knocked away. Delbonis, and the Gauchos have gone offside as he played it up into the hip area of Emmett Rupert.
Some good starting play here from the Gauchos, getting a lot of offensive zone time. A lot of credit to the way Santa Rosa has played this one so far, though. Looking very rigid, very structured, and very well organized in their own end. No one really with an opportunity to find the way to sneak into that slot. Every time a puck gets jammed in there, it's a blue shirt that gets there first in order to knock it away.
Sullivan sets up behind his own cage. Snetzinger tried to play it forward for Rogers on the second try. It's touched out for him by Harrison. Rogers is the player to watch out for the Polar Bears. He leads the team in goals. And the Gauchos have taken the game's first penalty, now with 14:30 to go in the first period.
You mentioned that Rogers is the man to watch, currently leading the team in goals. Second in points with 31. Austin Giardelli, the current points leader for this Santa Rosa team, out of the lineup with an upper body injury tonight. That is a big scoring presence that is out for Santa Rosa. 43 points in the 15 games that he has played thus far. So big loss there for Santa Rosa, but one less thing for UCSB to worry about. But for now, got to worry about killing off this penalty.
Dimitri Piagai in the box for 2 or less for the Hook. This Gaucho penalty kill coming into today's contest, killing him at just over 81% efficiency for the season. Did give up 3 special teams goals, I should say, 2 of them on the power play in the 4-1 loss at San Jose State. Pressure from Gaucho leading scorer Colin Delbonis. And Cruz Holloway able to create the turnover in the end. Fleck sends it around behind. Sullivan looks to play it forward and finds Rogers. Carries the mail for neutral ice. His shot is wide. Rupert muscling along the far corner with Rogers. Second try able to skate it free and angle it hard off the sideboards into the Polar Bear end. Anthony Giampoli retrieves. Held up at the line and played back out by Fleck. 35 seconds remaining in the first Polar Bear power play of the game. We're still scoreless with 7 minutes played.
Good discipline so far through the first minute and a half of this penalty kill for UCSB. Solid on the blue line, not allowing a lot of room for Santa Rosa to try to move that puck deep.
Once again, SRJC has to get it from their own end. Mingron says, how do you do, to Giampoli as Polos bounces it in. Hahn blockers it to the near corner. Connor May rims it around. And the Gauchos will wait as Piagai let free from the box. First penalty kill successful for ice hockey at UCSB. Goldser up the right wing, now crosses to the middle. Pass for the trailer and the feet is Spears, but he waits, shoots off the cuff of the trapper of Kellum. May. Mingron. Spears. Trying to wrap it around, far post. Goldser shoots, and he hit the crossbar.
I think that went off the glove of Kellum and off the crossbar, so big break for the Santa Rosa goaltender there.
Miles never saw it. As we have a whistle and stoppage in play.
That might have been a hand pass whistle, so face-off going to be right outside the Santa Rosa blue line. Mentioned just 7 skaters for this Santa Rosa team, and I'll tell you, that'll really wear you out quickly. Not to mention, this Santa Rosa team also played last night. They faced the Cal Lutheran Knights down in Simi Valley. So again, playing the double back-to-back here.
Spears' heavy wrister created a rebound, but the official lost sight of the puck. Correction, that's Jackson Schutz with the snapper. It was a close game that head coach Nathan Panic's side played against the Knights through the first 2 periods. Of course, the Olympic ice sheet.
Never makes things easy when you only have 7 skaters.
I believe it was a 10-3 final in that one for Cal Lutheran. It's a 1-goal game after the first 20 and first 40 minutes. Rogers gives chase up the near side boards. Schutz. Pass touched forward by Trenner. Harrison had it taken away by Trenner. Austin carries in. His shot deflects, and he took a heavy hit from Sullivan trying to deliver it. From the point, Vieira. The wrister sticks to Kellum from the top of the far circle by Herlihy.
And for Nathan Panic, he's going to really like that from his goaltender. You got to like those shots where when they're not necessarily from the most dangerous spot on the ice, but the danger comes in the fact that there was a white shirt looming right there waiting for the rebound, and there was none given from the goaltender, Miles Kellum. That is strong goaltending from the young netminder for the Polar Bears.
Midway mark of the first period. Reminder, we're playing running clock here due to the short bench that Santa Rosa JC has brought. Pia guy plays it back behind. Del Bonis curls it in front. Cleared away by Snetzinger. Leading Gauchos scorer Del Bonis, 12 goals, 18 points in his first season for ice hockey at UCSB. Plays it behind the net. Snetzinger sweeps it away, played it to the point. Rupert with a nice job of holding it in. His shot through traffic hit a stick in front from Harrison. On the second try, his shot hits the post. Rebound, Kellum kicks it wide.
Oh, and he never saw that shot either.
Del Bonis again. Gets it back from Rupert. Passes across the slot, deflected in front, just swept wide by Cruz Holloway.
Great job to get that shot on net, too. He was being upended as he let it go.
Rupert shot through traffic, misses wide of the glove, retrieved by Awazia. To the point for Piagai. His shot screams over top. Another good spell of possession for the Gauchos in the offensive end. Still nothing to show for it, though. Rupert from the line gives for Del Bonis. Throws it in front. Kicked and deflected. Ademo holds the line. Del Bonis. 4 goals in the game at Snoopy's home ice, including all 3 for the Gauchos in the third. Threw it high off the chest protector of Kellum, tossed it in front, and Miles will freeze it here with 8:26 to go in the first.
Great shift for the Gauchos, specifically for number 33, Chris Cruz Holloway. Holloway planted himself right in front of the net for virtually that entire offensive spell. And boy, did he take some abuse to stand in that spot. But as a coach, that is something you absolutely love seeing from some of your players. Getting in there, being a pain, being a thorn in the defenseman's side, and making them have to keep an eye on you allows a lot more space for your offensive partners.
Pop fly through traffic by Fleck. Kellum couldn't keep it in the trapper, but the official gives him the benefit of the doubt anyway.
Looked like he was going to hang on to it. I can see where that was going.
Isn't quite like Gaucho baseball, which had the alumni scrimmage today. Would have gotten an E for that. Thankfully, we're on the frozen pond as Goldser carries in. Goldser dips the shoulder. Goldser throws it in front. Swept just through and wide by McGrone. From the line, Kellum makes the save on the seeing eye shot through traffic. Goldser deflects the shot from the point by Fleck. McGrone along the far boards. Snetzinger gives him a rough run of it. Polos can't clear through Connor May. Waits for traffic and slaps it wide of the blocker. Fleck activates. Shot off the outside of the net. Goldser retrieves. Drops back for May. His shot deflected. The Gauchos have hit the post again. McGrone got a touch on it. That's 3 times the pipe has been the best friend of Miles Kellum.
And that was an emphatic post either. That wasn't any gentle hit.
Fleck. Gauchos 3-on-3. As the lanky defenseman curls around, threw it in front. Perone sweeps it in front. Couldn't connect with Fleck. And now Rogers sprints away with it. Rogers shot. Hahn couldn't handle that. EG for the Gauchos. Touch forward and on the carry. Shoulder dip. Evelhoch in. His shot. Nice stick by Kellum, forcing it to the screen back behind.
And Evelhoch just turned on the jets when he got over that blue line, realizing he had no one with him. Great goaltending from Kellum to recognize that no other options for him to pursue. He steps out, gets the blocker up, makes that save, and forces that puck up and over the glass. That is smart goaltending.
6:05 and the clock running to go here in the first period as Sullivan off the one defensive zone draw, high arcs it out. It'll be retrieved by Schutz in the Gaucho end. Austin Trenner plays forward for Barone. Barone waits, saucered it to the area, too far for Evelhoch, but Trenner retrieves, swept it back to the line through McDowell for traffic. The shot, score! Jackson Schutz, shot from the point, finds the back of the net, and the Gauchos take the 1-0 lead with 5:35 to go here in the first period.
And this may wind up being Austin Trenner's goal. Trenner was cutting across to the front of the net, and I did hear a tip. I'm not sure if it was off Trenner's stick, but boy, he was celebrating like it was. You know, as though a forward would never pretend a goal was his ever before.
We'll give it to him. I heard the tip too. For Trenner, it's his 9th goal of the season. Schutz picking up his 2nd helper of the year, and the Gauchos lead it 1-0. Lee Barone gets the secondary assist as well, as off the one draw, he angles it in. Trenner plays it behind for Barone. Barone shot off the stick. Sullivan dropped his, kicked it forward, and Rogers able to angle it out up the near boards. Schutz curls around his own net, all kinds of pressure from Rogers. But he's able to skate abreast through the neutral zone. Lifts the shoulder, takes it himself, and he scores!
What an end-to-end rush. Back behind his own net, coast to coast, goes through 3 blue shirts and just buries it in the low corner. That was some spectacular stuff. That looked a lot like a certain defenseman who also had some spectacular skating ability. Used to wear number 27 for New Jersey and Anaheim. Also used to go end regularly like that. That was a Scott Niedermayer type play.
So if the first goal wasn't his, that one is for sure the 2nd of the season for Jackson Schutz. He has a hand in both of the Gaucho goals, and it's 2-0 to UCSB. The slapper, handled by Kellum, was cranked hard by Emmett Rupert. Now Spears has it taken away by Rogers. Bobby Rogers gains the blue line in his shot, deflected way high into the mesh by Emmett Rupert. We'll be joined by assistant coach Ben Brecker here in the 2nd period coming up on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. It'll be nice to speak with him about the pregame ceremony, as well as have a little bit of 3-man in the booth action. Spears on the carry. Throws it to the slot. Shot save made off of Del Bonus by Kellum. Spears plays it to the front. Swept away for a moment by Sullivan. Del Bonus curling with it. Looking for Connor May. Lost it in his gear. Got for Spears. Save made by Kellum. Rebound. A couple stabs from Del Bonus. And finally, Kellum able to come away with it. My apologies have just been updated. Number 20 is in fact Eric Valois for this game. Came in expecting him to wear his usual number 19, but so EV getting his first goal this season for the Gauchos and his 5th helper so far.
And what a pretty first goal it was.
Off the one offensive zone draw, curling with it, Awasia gives it up for Piagai. Plays it behind McGrone. The shot, a little friendly fire, and it hits Strategos in front as Giampoli deflects the shot from the point, and Kellum comes out to cover it with 1:50 to go here in the first period.
Kellum's actually been very good so far here through this first period. Kellum's had a lot of difficult shots. UCSB's putting a lot of traffic in front. Also a lot of credit to the defense in front of Kellum. Been doing a great job clearing out any white shirts that have gone down and tried to crash into that low slot, looking for what few rebounds have been there. Nonetheless, still great defensive structure from the Polar Bears.
Shot from the line, blocked by Sullivan. He'll take it out up the right wing. Step by Connor May. Nice job by Fleck to sweep it to the far corner. Puck battle won by the Gauchos. Barone gave it up. On the carry-in, the shot blocked by Jampoli. Trenner couldn't get it through. Barone waiting with it. Trenner beaver tailing in the high slot. Held in at the line for Trenner. His shot deflected up over top. Barone plays it behind for Trenner. Too far for him. Anthony Jampoli plays it out. Stephen McDowell touched it deeper into the UCSB end. 35 seconds to go here in the first period. Rogers stood up Fleck at the line for a moment, but he's able to carry in. Fleck shoots wide. Had Barone lurking in the area. Barone loses his footing at the blue line. And if Polos was looking up, he had Rogers on a breakaway. Nonetheless, it's a 2-on-1. He shoots, he scores! Alan Polos. And it's 2-1 as Polos puts home his third goal of the season in his third game for SRJC.
And this is a smart play from Polos as well, recognizing that he did have Rogers there, missed him with that breakaway pass, but then also used him again later to freeze the defense and the goaltender, not recognizing that had obviously the best skaters crashing right down the slot. Polos fakes that pass and then just deposits a low, quick, hard shot right along the ice, and it beats goaltender Will Hahn right through the 5-hole. Santa Rosa is leaving the ice. I think they didn't catch the memo that there's only going to be one ice cut here this afternoon. Nonetheless, smart play from Polos, and it's a very deserved goal. So UCSB, rather than leading by 2 here at the second intermission, it's just a 1-goal game, very similar to the game last night that the Santa Rosa Polar Bears played.
And really, when these two teams have played, Kyle, last season there was just one game where it really got away from the Polar Bears. There was the epic home opening victory for the Gauchos, 7-6. Cooper Spears, the 4-goal game in that one. UCSB came back and won 11-4 the following day. But the other series, the Gauchos won it 9-7, and then 4-3 in taking all 4 of the meetings. The first time these two programs hooked up for a season series last year.
Yeah, absolutely. The game last weekend being really the anomaly when it comes to what we've come to expect between the Polar Bears and the Gauchos. Normally also very high intensity and high body contact games as well. The Santa Rosa team does not shy away from playing physical. We've seen a little bit of that here so far this afternoon.
So after Will Hahn played the first period, it'll be Lennon Karma who will go the rest of the way for the Gauchos. Karma was the goalie of record in the victory at Snoopy's home ice. Won 15-1 by the Gauchos on the 19th of January. And as UCSB controls off the opening draw for this second period, it's our pleasure to be joined now by Ben Brecker, the assistant coach and the faculty advisor, professor, opera here at UCSB. Coach, how's it going?
Hey, good guys.
Gauchos controlling in the offensive end. Behind the net, Sullivan will retrieve for the Polar Bears. Able to roll it out, and another breakaway chance here for Polos. Polos in one-on-one, and Karma stands tall to stop him. Boy, Hahn's first one was tough, so was Karma's. And on the second one, Santa Rosa ties it up. The giveaway at the blue line. Connor Harrison cashes in, and we're tied at 2.
And it's another one that goes right between the wickets of the Santa Barbara goaltender. Another low, hard shot along the ice. And Lennon Karma, after, again, facing a very difficult first shot, gives up the second one. UCSB suddenly finds themselves tied after being in commanding control of most of the first period.
Yeah, turnovers at the blue line will kill you, right?
Absolutely.
Right
Any coach will tell you that, and we've got a coach here who can tell us that.
Yeah, I don't like to see that.
Those are the kinds of things that, as broadcasters say, they like to give coach, or they will give coaches gray hair.
Yeah.
Piagai in his own end. So after UCSB on Trenner and Valois goals in the first period have surrendered the last two.
Yeah, sometimes when you're dominating a team, you get a little lazy, you get a little complacent, and I think that's what happened here to the Gauchos, right? We're up easy, we're in their end most of the first period, and we gave up a bad giveaway at the blue line, right, by defenseman, led to that goal in the 5-hole, and then right here, just a little bit counting the wind before the end of the third period, right?
A little casual.
Real casual.
If
We'll get
you
it
will.
turned around. Scott Hires will turn it around.
Rupert lost the puck at the blue line, but able to battle for it in the high slot. Sullivan angles it to the line, but Rupert holds. High bouncer off McGrone's stick. Settles for Strategos. His shot, patted away. Follows it and plays it back to the line. Rupert can't hold it. Piagai does well to seal off Rogers, who is sniffing around looking for another break. Goldser, the stretch pass, just out of the reach of McGrone. Good job by Snetzinger to play it to the red line. Just gained and dumped in by Rogers. Karma tees it up for Piagai. Former junior king into the zone. He played a forward for that program. Seen a little bit of the stick handling there. Still flashes of it, although better at using his body defensively. And now a turnover behind the net. Dogged effort from Rogers. Walks it in front. Karma makes the save. Well, these polar bears smell a little bit of blood right now. They have certainly had the better of it through the first 3 minutes and 25 seconds of this second period.
They're really looking for those opportunities, specifically along their own blue line, looking to pressure the Gaucho defense, try to take that puck away and use their speed. We've seen it on multiple occasions from Rogers, man. He can really fly.
Barone leaves it for Fleck. Back for Barone. Worked over in the corner, plays it to the line, just out of the reach of Fleck.
You know, I
San
kinda
Jose native.
expected this game from Santa Rosa. Last year we played them two really tough games. One overtime win, another loss. They're well coached. They fight hard. They play in a smaller rink up in Santa Rosa.
That was something we were making mention of in the pregame. We
Yeah.
were talking about how it's an interesting building up there, not only in the fact that it is such a small ice surface, kind of similar to Chapman's home rink down at KHS Ice Arena, but it's also interesting in that there's no glass along any of the sideboards.
Right.
It's all just a dasher board, no glass, and then just a protective mesh netting. So it's really easy to put that puck up and out of play there. Defense really don't have that safe glass and out option that a lot of them like to use as that safety valve. You really have to work that puck around and skate it out. And when you get a team like the Santa Rosa team that likes to play quick and high pressure hockey, as well as being physical, they really use that rink to their advantage.
Yeah, they really like one-on-one matchups, and right now they're beating us in most of those one-on-one matchups.
Polo stood up at the blue line by Valois. Spears plays it wide for Cruz Holloway. Takes the hit, fights through the man, still has the puck. Drops it back. Vieira activated. Polos turns it over behind the net. Nice blocker from Kellum to knock it free from Del Bonis. Played to the far side boards. Vieira for Spears. Spears to the high slot. Waits for traffic. His shot hit his own man. Cruz Holloway in front. Swept it to the line for Vieira. Snetzinger sends it around. Spears settles it down along the left side boards. Del Bonis curling behind with it for Valois. Valois waits for traffic, hit the man in front. Polos able to bounce it out to neutral ice. Spears, 3-on-2 if the Gauchos hurry. Snetzinger does well to sweep it behind. Spears backhanded to the area and played away. 2-on-2 come the Polar Bears. Sullivan stood up. Sweeps it behind. Vieira for Cruz Holloway. McDowell bearing in on him. He kicked it away for Valois. And Valois. Second-year Gaucho, grad student. Finds Cooper Spears. Spears dips the shoulder, drops it back for Del Bonus. Couldn't handle the pass. Hesitates, he shoots. And a save made by Kellum coming way out to challenge.
Yeah, nice angle, him getting out of the crease there.
Barone along the near side boards, muscles through Rogers. Second try, Connor Harrison able to get it to the line but not out. Spears to the slot, backhander,
Nice.
Score!
I was just about to say Santa Rosa's playing really good zone space defense.
They've done a very good job so far tonight, really sealing off the front of the net. Every time a Gaucho's been there, there's been at least one, more often than not two blue shirts just standing in front, making a huge wall in front of their goaltender.
Yeah.
UCSB's having a hard time getting any pucks in there. The one time that trend breaks right there, Colin Delbonis, Johnny on the spot, gets the Gauchos the lead
he fought
back.
through that. He fought through that body.
13th of the season for Del Bonus, the Gaucho leading goal scorer. Karma did well on Rogers. Pressure up ice off the draw. The slapper from neutral ice, handled by Karma. Maybe a little bit of cheekiness there from Matthew Sullivan, thinking he could be Keith Yandel, but Lennon Karma is no Pekka Rinne. Behind the net, Owasiuk.
Or Steve Mason, for that matter.
By the way, we should mention Coach Brecker, also an alumni of an ACHA program, playing goaltender for Bowling Green University back in the day.
Yes, the heyday of Bowling Green hockey.
Owasiuk's shot hit the side of the net. Herlihy swung it around for him. Rupert will keep it in at the left point. Owasiuk gets it from Herlihy, shoots. Looked like he was trying to pick-tock glove, put it over the top.
This game's really a game of spurts and a game of momentum, as you can see. Whichever team seems to have a little edge, they seem to have a quicker step.
11:20 to go here in the middle period. Rupert carries in. Rupert all the way. Rupert backhander, just couldn't put it on cage at the moment of truth.
I guess Rupert sees Valois pull it off once, gives it a try himself.
Barone, a couple pirouettes, able to shake free to the slot. His shot off of the Polar Bear stick and into the mesh netting.
And same thing, once again, Gauchos try to curl the puck out to the high slot in order to get that good shot on net. 3 blue shirts to meet him right there. And it's a quick block up over the mesh, out of play. Not even a shot on goal for UCSB.
Gauchos send Goldser, Mingrone, and Strategos over the boards. Fleck and May manning the points. Fleck dumps it behind. Strategos able to win the puck from Snetzinger. Send it behind the net. Sullivan retrieves. And look out, up into the Gaucho bench. Everybody ducking up out of the way. Coach Hires has it. You can tell he's not a goalie coach. He was trying to get out the way as soon as he saw that going in the bench.
I saw him play once. It lasted about 10 minutes.
And now, is that 10 minutes before he had given up about 5 to 10 goals, or before he had pulled a groin at that point?
I think players who try a goalie, they once in a while they realize, wow, this is a lot harder than it looks.
And that's just trying to do the splits when you're going
There
across
you
the
go.
ice. We're not even talking about the huge load that it puts on your thighs. If you're not used to using those muscles in the way that goaltenders have to do it for 60-plus minutes a game. It'll get them burning real quick.
Yeah, it does. Up and down, right?
Strategos able to angle it out off the far side boards. Comes back for Fleck. And Goldser dumps it back in. Cap with it again. Into the zone. Hesitates. Rogers knocks it free for a moment. Able to kick it free. Can he split the pair? Good angle taken by Valois to neutralize the chance.
Yeah, nice job of Eric there, not getting an interference penalty, but yet slowing him down a little bit.
I think he did just enough. I think that free hand did come off the stick. By the letter of the law, you're really risking it with officials when you're doing that, but did just enough to kind of get himself body position there without, as you said, taking that interference penalty.
8:35 to go here in the second period. Has been grown. Gains the Polar Bear blue line. Gauchos in the midst of a change here with Del Bonis on the ice. His goal has given UCSB the lead here in the second period. On his backhand through the high slot. Takes the return feed. Slap deflected by Mingrone. Save made by Kellum. Length of the sheet. And Santa Rosa has iced the puck.
And you talked a lot, Coach, about how it seems like whichever team seems to have a jump in their step is the team that takes command of the momentum in this game. That also has something to do with a lot of the players that are out there. We've made an awful lot of mention of Bobby Rogers so far here for Santa Rosa.
Yeah.
You can see him really moving out there on the ice. He's trying to will his team back onto the front foot in order to get some goals, tie this one back up, maybe even get his team the lead here. UCSB, it seems like most of tonight really hasn't had anyone kind of step up and take that command of the game thus far, aside from maybe that one effort from Valois where he carried it end to end and scored.
Yeah, well, you know, we're trying to play 4 lines today instead of 3. We're giving some of our younger guys a chance to get more ice time. And skaters like Rogers, who are first-line guys, they're going to take advantage of those fourth liners. But it's a great opportunity for our team to get some ice time for the guys on the fourth line. So I'm happy about Coach Heyer's decision there, getting a full bench with good workout today.
Yeah,
Del Bonis walking to the slot, his backhander. Save made by Kellum, goes over top. You were saying, Kyle?
We made mention about how
Score through traffic. Valois cranks another one. And I do believe the touch in front from Chris Cruz Holloway gives him his first goal as a Gaucho.
Austin Trenner certainly mobbed him enough. His fist bump, and I think he may have gotten the touch on that one. Just to direct it just past Kellum. I think that might also have gone 5-hole.
Yeah, looked like it did.
On the Santa Rosa goaltender. An awful lot of those 5-hole between the wickets goals here tonight.
Well, I think there's some goalie coaches doing some work this week. Those are all standard butterfly saves, really. But, I know that coaches will continue to work on position with goalies and make sure they get their sticks on the ice and that 5-hole sealed.
So what you're saying is you have your work cut out for you this week?
Yeah, I think we will. Well, guys, we're gearing up for the playoffs. I don't know if you've told the audience,
we have not made mention of that. We'll come back to that.
President's Day weekend, we're going to be up in Tahoe for the league championships. So we're excited about that.
For the first time in the Ice in Paradise, the ACHA era for ice hockey at UCSB. The Gauchos will be playoff eligible this year.
Spears, bouncing puck. Kellum can't handle the rebound, but it's cleared up the near side wall and out. Of course, the Gauchos, last time they played playoff hockey, went all the way to the California Cup championship game in their first season here at Ice in Paradise, before ultimately falling to Chapman in their third game in as many days.
Yeah, that was a tough game. It was my first few games as helping out as coach.
Barone gets the puck back, threw it in front, just out of the reach of Herlihy. Under 5 minutes to go here in the second period. Teams have been trading goals in twos as Rogers' shot deflected and loops in to the trapper of Karma.
And you got to give a lot of credit to Santa Rosa, the conditioning that they have. Again, playing with such a short bench last night down in Simi Valley on that Olympic ice surface and holding it so close for 2 periods, and then being able to come up here, make the trip to Goleta through almost 2 periods now. It's a 2-goal game.
Yeah, it's great to see them make such an effort. We appreciate them coming up with such a short bench. There's going to be some tired legs on the bus.
Strategos carries in, save made. Kellum couldn't control the rebound. It's ripped on. He makes the other save on Chris Awasiak before Santa Rosa able to get the clear. Connor May curling in his own end for Fleck. Return feed at the feet of May.
Santa Rosa does a nice job of clearing the puck. The defenseman number 16 there, McDowell, doing a really good job of getting the puck out of the slot, helping his goalie out. Nicely done.
Strategos just couldn't get a stick on that play. Flubbed wide of the far post, and there's another good clear by the Polar Bears. May, under pressure from Polos, the first goal scorer for Santa Rosa. Awasiak wins the board battle, walks it in. His shot may have hit the post. Has drawn the first Santa Rosa penalty of the evening at the 16:53 mark.
And that first, I think Coach Ben is going to take off from us here.
Yeah, guys, great to
Thank
talk with you a little bit.
Thank you for joining us, Coach. It's insightful as always.
Yeah.
Good to have you up here contributing to the analysis booth.
Great to have you guys here at all the games, and hello to all the people out on our YouTube channels. Thanks for watching.
And yeah, we look forward to the remainder of the season. I know we were working on getting that UCLA game rescheduled
Yes,
as
the
well.
UCLA game will be rescheduled. We're going to try to do a tune-up before the playoffs, so the week before, or we're going to try to get a game for sure.
So that may be coming as well. I'm sure you'll probably let us know as soon as that happens.
Absolutely, we'll try to post
Appreciate
it, so everybody check our Facebook page, and we'll get that game going on.
Yes, definitely.
Thanks, guys.
Facebook, YouTube, all those social media websites. Best place to keep up with your Gauchos. Appreciate it, Coach Ben. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
And take care. We'll see you. We'll see you as the season goes on.
Bye-bye.
Assistant coach Ben Brecker joining us here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network as the Gauchos on their first power play of the evening control the draw. Valois, he's on a 3-point night for the Gauchos. Waits for traffic in front. Takes the return feed. Played wide through the slot, through the stick of Trenner. Tried to one-time it. Spears for Valois at the point. Valois. Spears tried the hard one-timer wide. Vieira able to regather. 80 seconds to go in the Gaucho power play. Delbonis behind the net. Walks it in front. Trenner just stubbed it wide. Cleared to the line, and Valois just can't hold it in. Spears turns the puck over to Rogers. Rogers didn't get good wood on it. Clubbed it wide. Polos. Valois touches forward, and it comes in front. Karma makes a great save shorthanded on Polos, and with Rogers pressuring up Vieira, forces the puck in on Karma, and this will take plenty of precious seconds away on the Gaucho power play as we're now approaching a minute 30 to play here in period number 2. Remember, we will have a ice resurfacing between the second and third periods.
And that running time as well means UCSB, the amount of time that it takes them to get set up for that face-off, more time off this power play opportunity.
Awasiak into the zone, tried to sneak it. Short post, Kellum made the save. Herlihy plays it wide. Barone. His shot screams wide of the far post. Piagai. Awasiak. Pass, backdoor, score! With 3 seconds remaining in the power play, Barone makes it a 5-2 lead for the Gauchos.
And it's a sweet little passing play for ice hockey at UCSB. Awasiak picking that head up and just recognizing that he had Barone streaking in down that right-hand circle all alone. No one keeping an eye on him. It's a quick, hard pass right to the tape, and Barone just snaps it into the corner. Picture perfect, textbook power play setup type of a play that a coach would like to draw up during practice. Coach Hires is going to be happy about that one.
Barone along the near side boards inside of 25 seconds remaining in the second. Rogers takes a heavy hit to play it forward for Polos. Polos, shouldered down hard by Emmett Rupert, and boy, it wouldn't be a Gaucho game without number 15 picking up a penalty.
I think that extends his streak that I think he's held for every single game this season that he's been involved with. Polos looking a little bit rattled. He's up. That was a hard hit, and it might have been head-to-shoulder contact is what the penalty's going to be.
Called as an elbow by the official.
Could also have been head-to-elbow contact, also dangerous, if not more so.
And considering the injury that Austin Ghirardelli suffered against California Lutheran, you'd hate to see another one of these gutty polar bears go off injured, but Polos is no worse for wear as he had a great opportunity off of winning the draw. Karma shut it down at the near post. And we shut it down here with 2 periods in the books. Santa Rosa, after giving up the first 2 goals of the game in the first period, gets a goal in the dying seconds of the first from Alan Polos, and then tie it up just 43 seconds into the second period on Connor Harrison's goal. For Harrison, that would be his first of the season in just his 3rd game, but the Gauchos respond with goals by Colin Del Bonis, Chris Cruz Holloway getting his first of the season, then a power play goal from Tyler Barone to take us where we stand with 2 in the books.
So not a bad performance necessarily, considering ice hockey at UCSB is trying to roll all 4 lines, get as much experience in game time in for specifically those 3rd and 4th units. Seen an awful lot of Chris Cruz Holloway, who's played arguably his best game of the season here so far tonight. Getting that goal, getting that touch to get himself on the board. Seen pretty good performance from Michael Hurley as well. I think Coach Scott Hires is really going to go in there and emphasize wanting to keep control of the game. Obviously, we've seen what Rogers can do and Polos can do when it comes to getting some of that momentum back and kind of wrangling some of the narrative of the game, I guess you can say, away from ice hockey at UCSB, getting some of that control away from the Gauchos. And I think that's something that Coach Scott Hires is really going to emphasize, not wanting to give up here in the 3rd period. This is going to be UCSB's time to really work on shutting the Polar Bears down and getting them over the finish line. But we shall see what happens in the 3rd period. Otherwise, I don't think he has too much to be upset about. It's been a fairly good team game for UCSB.
Keep up with your Gauchos on social media like Facebook.com/IceHockeyUCSB. A special hello to all of those of you who are watching the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network on Facebook. We stream it live there as well as on YouTube. Also be sure to follow at UCSB Ice Hockey on Twitter and UCSB Ice Hockey on Instagram. 3 great ways to get social with the Ice Hockey at UCSB program. We'll step aside for a brief break. When we return, a couple thoughts about both these programs as well as the 3rd period of play. You're watching UCSB Gauchos Hockey. 5-2, UCSB leads a game. Santa Rosa Junior College Polar Bears side with 40 minutes in the books. Score on the board is 5-2, and no, we're not talking about the Pacific Division defeating the Central and the Atlantic Division by those two totals. Eric Evelhoch and Kyle Nicolas with you here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network, with the Gauchos leading the Santa Rosa Junior College Polar Bears by 3 through 40 minutes. And Kyle, you know, with this being such a special night, having the ceremony before the game honoring first responders, I think it's only appropriate that let you know and let our viewers know about how the tragedies and the fires up in Santa Rosa affected this Polar Bear ice hockey program earlier in the season. Santa Rosa, in speaking with head coach Nathan Panek before the game, actually lost a significant number of their hockey jerseys in the fire. So, not having the equipment, needing help, and considering it's a student-run program, much as ice hockey at UCSB is, they were looking for a place to go with it. And you know how expensive hockey uniforms can be. Well, the Polar Bears were able to get a tremendous deal from Luch. Luch, the same maker of the Continental Hockey League of Russia's uniforms. So, able to provide this Santa Rosa Junior College program with professional quality jerseys significantly below what market price would be. Those are the uniforms with the white numerals. The ones with the red numerals, most notably Alan Polos' uniform, is one of the remainders of the old uniforms worn by the Santa Rosa Junior College program. But it's always great to see when members of a community, be it the local community or be it the community of hockey, are able to help out sides in need.
Yeah, it's good to see, and I will say those new uniforms for Santa Rosa are looking really good. You know, it's kind of a similar look to what they were rolling with before, but at the same time, it's a fresh new look. They got the names on the back of them, which I know as a broadcaster makes life really easy. You can tell who's rushing right up the ice. You can see why the NHL broadcasters kind of have it spoiled in that regard. But nonetheless, it's really good, as you mentioned, to see so many people step up in not only the Santa Rosa community, but also here in the Santa Barbara community as well, to really help those that are impacted by these just unbelievably awful natural disasters that happened. Some of the worst wildfires in state history, some of the largest ones mentioned before earlier in the broadcast. Over 20,000 homes lost in both these fires in both the communities combined. Just so much tragedy going through and affecting. And yet here we are, still out here playing some hockey. We will return, we rebuild. All these teams have just shown resilience that it takes to come back from these sorts of things. And it's great to really be out here and given this opportunity here tonight to honor those first responders and all those emergency crews that just dedicated so much time and effort to really fighting to try to not only get those fires out, but then clear up the roadways and the freeways and repair everything. And it's going to take a long time before everything goes back to normal once again. But it's good to see that we're finally on that road to recovery in both of these communities.
And great to see the support from the Santa Barbara hockey community here today. A great house on hand for what has been, Kyle, a very entertaining hockey game through the first two periods.
Yeah, I've been marginally surprised at how well that Santa Rosa has played so far through this one. They're certainly a very aggressive team. They've really put a lot of pressure on the Santa Barbara defense. They're looking at the blue line specifically to try to force that turnover, and we've seen how much speed that Bobby Rogers has when he comes flying up the ice. He can stick handle. UCSB's done a very good job. Specifically, I can point to Eric Valois, who's done a great job of several times just using body position to sort of get his way in there, knock him off the puck, or just prevent that shot from coming in. But all it really takes is just one turnover or one slight misplay. This Santa Rosa team can take off, and we've seen it already twice. They can score. They've had several opportunities, and they've been very resilient themselves here tonight, knowing that the legs have got to be weary, they've got to be tired, they're beaten, they're broken, they're bruised, they're missing a lot of players, and yet they're out here and they're fighting. They're giving Santa Barbara a game thus far.
Yeah, you can tell that this is a program, though it's a down year for the Polar Bears. Coach Panic and crew have a lot to be excited about the incoming recruiting class for the Polar Bears, but you can tell that they've learned some hard lessons as the season has gone along, most notably a 3-game trip that the Polar Bears took to Minnesota earlier this season, facing the Minnesota State University Mankato Bulls, playing at the University of Minnesota at Mariucci Arena, and also taking on St. Cloud State University. Santa Rosa Junior College getting an opportunity to play at 3 of the real temples of college hockey: the Verizon Center in Mankato, Mariucci Arena as mentioned, and the Herb Brooks Center at St. Cloud State.
And you got to say, that is quite an honor for really any team to wind up going out there, letting them do in all 3. You got to think that's something that maybe Santa Barbara would love to do at some point in the future. Again, being a student-run organization, sometimes it's a little harder to make that happen than you'd think, but nonetheless, you can see the experience that it has given this very young team a lot to look forward to. And you got to imagine, kind of once they start to rebuild up as well, when both these teams are back at their pinnacle, we're going to see some great hockey.
Polar Bears with 1 minute and 50 seconds of power play time to begin the 3rd period here. As Emmett Rupert sitting for elbowing Cooper Spears off the draw. His shot caught by Kellum.
Great shot shorthanded from Cooper Spears and Kellum. I don't know, oftentimes we have made mention multiple times that the first shot you want to see, whether it's out of an intermission, out of an ice cut like that, you want something that's a little bit more routine, but that's a great stop to have to make.
Spears wins the draw, snaps it high and wide on the near side post. Valois runs into the linesman as the puck sticks to the red line.
And he got a little lucky that the puck didn't go anywhere when he ran into the linesman as well. Gives him a chance to recontrol.
Who's that on the bench giving the zebra noise? Is that Barone?
I don't know. There's a bunch of white shirts and blue helmets there.
That looks like Barone. Polar Bears unable to get much going through the opening minute of the power play here in the 3rd period as Karma makes the save on the Sostin Risser from Alan Polos.
That winds up
first goal scorer, Kyle, of the game for Santa Rosa.
So if that winds up being the only shot on goal that they get out of this power play, you got to think that the UCSB coaching staff is going to be quite all right with that.
Polos on the draw against Barone, who wins the defensive zone draw. Fleck works it around. Slapped out off the near side boards. Owaziuk takes a heavy hit from Sullivan, but able to play it forward. Carried in by Barone. Dips the shoulder, couldn't get across the slot. Played to the line. It came out. But Rupert comes out of the penalty box, and the Gauchos have killed Santa Rosa's 2nd power play of the game. Matthew Sullivan, stretch pass. Tipped into the zone by Polos. Piagai curls around behind, dropping it for Fleck. Fleck picked up his first point as a Gaucho in his first game, getting a helper in the 15-1 win at Snoopy's home ice by UCSB. Polos ahead for Rogers, just off the heel of his stick. Karma just gets the high glass and able to get it out. On the carry and shot, score! Chris Owaziuk off the find from Austin Trenner, and Lennon Karma is going to get the secondary helper.
And as a goaltending aficionado yourself, gotta feel a little bit special about that. Great shot from, that was Chris Owaziuk on that goal. Owaziuk coming in down that right-hand wing and just sort of wrong footing Miles Kellum with that shot, slipping it right up, popping the water bottle top shelf. No doubt a great shot, but also a little bit of a deceptive one as well in order to slip that one through.
2nd point of the night for Owaziuk. It's his 7th of the season, and the Gauchos lead it 6-2. Sniffing for more. Evelhoch with it in the near corner, under fire from Jampoli. Played it behind the net. Polos couldn't get it free. Mingrone sent to the front of the net, but it comes out. Kellum makes a kick save on Evelhoch. Comes back for Michael, plays to the point for Piagai. Interchanges with Rupert. Rupert tunes it up over the top. Chases his own rebound and angles it behind. Mingrone. The slot for Evelhoch. Evelhoch curling behind the net on his backhand. Plenty of time, plenty of space. Shoots, save made by Kellum. Thrown back in front by Strategos. Knocked to the line, and on the second try, Connor Harrison able to get it out for the Polar Bears and play it back in.
Not the most orthodox positioning from Kellum on that last save. Sort of had his back clear and clean into the back of his own net, not really facing that shot square, but doing just enough to make sure that puck went through the crease and not into the back of the net.
Barone gains the line and scores! Piagai got it to him after the feed from Lennon Karma, his second assist of the game, and the Gauchos lead it 7-2 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds played.
We got a regular Ryan Getzlaff playing in the back over there with all the assists he's going to be tallying up. This is all about release speed from Barone on this one right here. Just carries it into the high slot, and right as the two Santa Rosa defensemen are starting to collapse on him, he just gets that shot off so quickly and just puts it right up and over the glove of Kellum. Not much Kellum can do. Another perfect shot that beats him up high, I should say.
Second goal of the game for Barone. He now has 6 on the season. And the Gauchos lead it 7-2. You think Will Hahn's going to be hearing from Karma about this multi-point night?
If goalies tend to have that smack talking, which I know they do, then yeah, he's probably going to hear quite a bit about it.
Gauchos regain in the neutral zone. Nice job by Rogers to knock it free for a moment from Valois. Sullivan will angle it in.
Valois stuck right with him, though. Rogers seemed for a second to kind of get that one away from Valois. Valois recognizing that immediately, just moving to take the body, taking the lane away. Make sure that the chance doesn't develop into anything dangerous.
Delbonis behind the net. Shoved off the puck by Snetzinger. Keep jamming forward along the end board. Spears able to dig it free for a moment. Sullivan moves it along. Barone walks to the slot. Pressure from Rogers. Barone keeps it and pitchforks it near corner. Spears wins the stick battle with Sullivan. Streams a pass through the high slot that bounces off of McDowell's boot to Barone. Vieira walks in. Behind the net, Polos pokes it free, but Vieira retrieves to the high slot. Tipped out by Rogers. And a puck battle that Delbonis takes a good angle on and able to work it forward. Barone rips it away from Rogers and drops it back for Spears. Snaps it wide. Right hand glove side. Fleck stood up by Rogers, played ahead too far for Polos. Spears from Valois. Side check, steps the hip check. Tried to put it to the slot, broken up well by Giampoli. Fresh off the bench. Wasiak gets it back from Fleck. And Trenner tried to touch it in. Snetzinger wasn't having it at his own blue line. Fleck wide for Golter. Slap shot, blocked Giampoli, stood up. Fleck walks through the slot with it, sticked away, but it comes free for a moment for Trenner. Back to the line. Piagai had traffic. Deflects, check that, that's a Wasiak. Wasiak throws it to the front. Oh, Snetzinger almost had it bounce in off his boot. Does well to fish it free from the blue paint and play it back out to the Gaucho end. Trenner gives for Wasiak. Edged hard off the puck, and we got a penalty coming on the Gauchos here as Trenner is going to get 2 here for the hit from behind on Connor Harrison.
And this is a point where, as of the Gauchos, you just kind of have to rein things in and make sure you kind of keep yourself in check and stay in control. That is not a penalty that the Gaucho coaching staff is going to be too happy about. A needless checking from behind penalty that's 200 feet away from his own goal. Offensive zone penalties always make sure that they give coaches gray hair. That is not one that the coaching staff is going to be too happy about, even with the lead like it is. This is one of those games you really want to make sure that the discipline stays in check, that you can close this one out without too much of an issue.
Officially goes in the book as a boarding, although really take your pick. You could also have called it a cross-check, considering he did give him the 2 mitts in the small of the back. Third power play of the game for the Polar Bears. They're 0 for 2. Harrison stood up at the blue line by Owasiak. Sullivan. Harrison touched forward for McDowell. Rogers had his stick lifted but got the puck back. Walks it through the slot. One try the Gauchos can't clear on the second. Be skated away by Piagai. Piagai goes wide, dips the shoulder, curls around the net. Puck in his feet, takes the hit. Able to staple that puck along the end boards though.
Good
Kicking it free for Goldser. Played to the slot. Owasiak, great job by Sullivan to sweep it free from the toe drag try from Owasiak. Gauchos have killed the first 60 seconds of the Polar Bear power play. As they go back into their own end, the captain ragging off additional time.
And you can see how this fatigue is starting to set in for Santa Rosa here. They are on the power play, and boy, they are just not trying to go down and pressure UCSB with the puck down back behind their own net at all.
Owasiak kicks the puck free from Giampoli. Goldser can't pull it through Polos. Puck takes a funny hop off the dasher. Giampoli there to clear it. And Santa Rosa has iced the puck on the power play. That should do it for the remainder of their third opportunity. Remember, running clock here due to the short bench side as we're at the midway mark of the third period.
And you can see the fatigue really setting in. A lot of guys bent over, sticks on their knees, just trying to gasp for air for Santa Rosa. This third period here on the back-to-back, this is just the hardest part right here.
Sullivan steaming out up the near boards. Played through a couple of hits to put the puck into the Gaucho defending end. Where Valois plays it ahead. Good speed through neutral ice for Evelhoch. Evelhoch walks it in front. Save made by Kellum. Held in and angled back behind for Strategos. Strategos breaks free from Giampoli. McDowell can't get it out. Slapper off the outside of the net from Valois. Strategos pass backdoor, and it stubbed just wide by Evelhoch. Valois again walks it in, curls behind. Valois. May setting the screen in front. Kellum does not have a goal stick. Now able to pick it up as it's held in. Vieira. Evelhoch tries to center it in front. Backhander wide of the near post. Vieira again holds the right point. Evelhoch. Pass into the boots of Alan Polos. Shouldered down by Matthew Sullivan. And he'll clear it into the Gaucho and area feed for Rogers. Rogers kick save by Karma. Rebound, and Lennon robs him coming post to post.
Good move from Lennon Karma, and it's so difficult to make those tough saves when you've just been standing back there sort of being a spectator on the ice for so long like Karma has. Great job to stay focused and get back and make both of those very difficult saves.
Gauchos have to work at the length of the sheet and off the play. Eric Valois is going to be called for taking down, I believe that's Connor Harrison.
Valois maybe with a little bit of an undisciplined penalty here as well. Scott Hires is really going to want to work on making sure that this discipline stays in check. That's another one that UCSB is really not going to be too happy about taking. An unnecessary penalty, not in a dangerous spot, and it was away from the play as well. Did not look like an accident to me.
Fourth power play of the game for Santa Rosa as Snetzinger holds the puck in near point. Played to the front. May turns and twists it out. Giampoli stretch feed through Rogers. Fleck for Spears. Spears swept away by Snetzinger. The second try, Snetzinger gloves it down at the red line and plays it in behind. Karma tees it up for the clear through the middle that gets as far as Giampoli at the Polar Bear blue line. Polos works it wide. Area feed, and Cooper Spears is in alone on a short-handed break. Save made by Kellum. Does well, just outweighting him enough, staying upright and able to blocker it back in behind with under 7 to go and a minute remaining in the Santa Rosa power play.
Kellum actually made that save without ever leaving his feet. Got that blocker low enough and just put the paddle down to the point where it took away where Spears was aiming. Spears, I think, expected him to drop to try to make that initial stop. It's about 13 inches off the ice, which is where coaches really want you to shoot those pucks, but never actually opened up because Kellum actually never left his feet.
35 seconds remaining in the Polar Bear power play as Piagai picks it away from Rogers and plays it back in behind Miles Kellum's cage. Golzer comes away with it, backhanded it through the slot. Rogers intercepts. Piagai angles him wide, has to retrieve in the corner. Karma paddles it back behind. Rogers rattles it in front. Still in the slot. Piagai finally able to play it free to the line, and here comes Barone. Power play is over. Barone hesitates. He shoots, and he scores. Completes the hat trick and makes it 8-2 UCSB.
Barone once again wrong foots the goaltender Kellum, just shooting back against the grain that time. Stops up, takes a stride over to his left, and then whips a shot with that release speed back to the right-hand side. Gets over the pad and under the blocker of goaltender Kellum, and it's 8-2 UCSB. A little under 5.5 to go here in the third.
Off the one draw, Gauchos steaming in again. Kellum holds strong on the snapper from Austin Trenner. Santa Rosa, after this contest, will be taking on USC at Anaheim, or check that. After this contest, will be taking on Stanford up at Bridgeport Ice in San Mateo on the 2nd of February. The Gauchos with just one more home contest remaining. That'll take place against UC Santa Cruz, also on Friday, February the 2nd. Owasiak angles it to the line for Piagai. Flutter puck, pounces out. Owasiak. Nice job getting around his man. His shot. Kellum keeps it out with a blocker. Owasiak doing battle with Sullivan. McDowell lost an edge, tried to sweep it out. It's lost in his footing, and Trenner comes up with it. Trenner couldn't keep it on the heel of his stick. Sullivan with time angles it wide. Vieira in his own end. 3:35 to go here in the third period. Plenty of speed through the zone. Rupert in. I think Kellum got a piece of it. Vieira walks it in. Vieira drops it back. Shot by Strategos. Great save by Kellum against the grain.
Memory serves me right, Strategos did get a goal when these teams met about 9 days ago.
Indeed he did. The game-winning goal, second of the contest. Mingrone to the line. Golzer playing catch with Vieira. Golzer, plenty of traffic in front. Sullivan intercedes and skates it out. Signing up for the quarterback from his own end, Lennon Karma. 2 assists in this period. Sullivan angles it back in. Linesman will waive the icing. Good hold at the line by Polos. Vieira. And the Gauchos set up the breakout from their own end. High posture forecheck from Santa Rosa creates the turnover. To Rogers walking in from the slot. He scores!
Not the man you want to turn the puck over to if you're ice hockey at UCSB. A careless pass right through the top of their own zone. One of those passes that coaches make you skate ladders if they catch you doing it too often. I think this one's not going to make Coach Scott Hires all that happy as well, as it goes right to the stick of Rogers, and he just lets that wicked wrister go, just beating Lennon Karma up over that pad, just under that glove.
24th goal this season for Bobby Rogers. And he's looking for more. Karma makes the save on the fluttering stab in from him. As it's played forward for Barone. Barone goes wide. Barone walks it in. Barone scores!
Wow, that one was pretty. Barone doing very well to use his body to shield the defender away from the puck. And then just it's a quick little flick of the wrist to get it up. And I believe that got the top shelf of the net first, which when you're about 18 inches away from the goal line like he was, that is not an easy target to hit. Great dexterity from Barone on that one.
Pick your descriptor where mother never dusts, where they keep the cookie jar, where Norman hides his mother. All means the 4th of the season for Tyler Barone and a 9-3 Gaucho lead. 35 seconds to go here in the third, and Colin Del Bonis looked like taking a penalty here for that late pop at the puck in front of Kellum.
Might not matter, though. I think we're running out of time here.
That should do it for the game. Kyle, here's the question. Who are you going to be talking to post-game?
That's a good question. We'll see who I can snag.
So, it'll be Del Bonis sitting down with 32.1 remaining. 5th power play of the game.
They stopped the clock. I was expecting to go down.
Gauchos win the defensive zone draw. If nothing else, this will help the special teams numbers. As Giampoli ahead for Polos, touchback for Rogers. Rogers walks in. Oh, he scores! Bar down. Beauty.
What
for
a
his
shot.
second of the game. Bad broadcaster. Why'd you mention the penalty kill numbers?
Winds up hurting him instead of helping.
So for Bobby Rogers, it's his second goal of the game. And all it does is add an additional to the score line. But nonetheless, a game effort from Santa Rosa as UCSB opens the 2018 season on ice in paradise with a victory, 9-4 over the Santa Rosa Junior College Polar Bears. It was a game where the Gauchos scored the first 2 before having Santa Rosa respond with goals from Alan Polos and Connor Harrison. The big difference came in the second period where the Gauchos got goals from Del Bonis, first of the season from forward Chris Cruz Holloway, and then the first of 4 in the game from Tyler Barone to make it 5-2 after 2. Barone's goal will go down as the game winner. UCSB getting goals from Owasiak, and then 3 more from Barone in the final frame. Both Santa Rosa goals in the final period of play off the stick of Bobby Rogers. But right now, Kyle Nicolas is ringside with the man with the hottest stick tonight, Tyler Barone.
Barone, Tyler, a 4-goal performance from you here this evening. Good win to end off this weekend. You know you got one more weekend left in the season before the playoffs. What are the lessons you guys going to take into next weekend with that big rivalry with Cal Lutheran?
We just gotta we got to step up the play a little bit. You know, they're going to be a tough team, and just start taking it a little bit more seriously because, you know, we finally have the chance to get into playoffs. I think we're a good team, and we have a shot on winning, so we're just going to try and do what we can out there.
A little bit more of a silly question. What do you think are your odds of taking the team scoring lead before this one's out?
I don't actually know how many points or what it is. Am I close?
I think you're pretty close to Del Bonis back there. I'm not sure exactly how many either, but you're on his tail pretty close.
What are the chances I take the scoring time?
Are you going to? Better question.
Yeah, probably.
Thinks he's going to. Thank you, man. Go celebrate.
Tyler Barone joining Kyle Nicolas here as we bring you the Ice in Paradise post-game show. Everyone can play hockey at Ice in Paradise. Ice in Paradise offers skating school for all ages with the Goleta Youth Hockey League, Monarchs Girls Ice Hockey Club, and the Santa Barbara Ice Hawks travel team. For more information, visit the official website of Ice in Paradise at iceinparadise.org. Well, for those that are curious, with the 4 goals tonight, Tyler Barone now has 18 points on the season. Check that, he now has 19 points on the season as he had the helper secondary on the first Gaucho goal of the game by Austin Trenner. The man he's chasing, Colin Del Bonis, as it stands right now, officially credited with the Gauchos' 3rd goal of the game, and that's the only one. So, with that in mind, both Del Bonis and Barone, of course, barring stat corrections, which you'll be able to find about at UCSB's hockey's official website, ucsbhockey.com. Kyle, the two are even at 19 points right now.
So apparently, according to Barone, he's going to be leading by the end of next weekend. That'll be an interesting stat line to see if it follows up on.
Gauchos getting their sweatshirts, part of the exchange of gifts before the game for the two sides right now. And Kyle, this is a game where, you know, you hate to see it as something of a foregone conclusion because you have to play the full 60 minutes. And as assistant coach Ben Brecker said in the second period, you know, the first 5-10 minutes or so of that, Santa Rosa was putting it to the Gauchos. However, once UCSB able to get the goal from Del Bonis, respond with another one thereafter. First of the season from Chris Cruz Holloway, deflected a Eric Valois shot at the 13:26 mark. That's when you sense that the Gauchos had gotten a handle back on the game, and then Barone's goal with 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining in the period really put them back in a comfortable standing.
Yeah, and at that point, I think it was just kind of the onus on UCSB to sort of try to find a way to close it out and be stable, I guess you could say, effective in their defending. Obviously, you're not going to be too happy, I think, about giving up those 2 late goals. Just absolutely superb efforts from Bobby Rogers on that one. That last shot, just an absolute howitzer up into that top corner, something really no goaltender's going to have an opportunity to stop. So you kind of feel a little bit for Lennon Karma, the 2-point night he had for him as a goaltender. Kind of hurt his stats a little bit in terms of the goals against average and the save percentage on the night, but nonetheless, you felt like UCSB really was never out of control of this game for too long. Some very good opportunities for Santa Rosa in this one. They had some good stretches, but nonetheless, I think that was a performance that the coaching staff won't be too upset about for ice hockey at UCSB. But like Barone said, I think they have some things they do have to work on going into this, the final weekend of the season. Really, they're going to kind of want to look at that as a tune-up, knowing that the playoffs are about 3 weeks away, 3 to 4 weeks away, taking place over President's Day weekend up in Lake Tahoe. They're really going to want to make sure that they're using these as tune-ups and as good practice to get ready for what are going to ultimately be some extremely tough games up there on that ice sheet.
And you'll be able to find out about potential playoff coverage here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network at ucsbhockey.com, as well as following the Gauchos on social media, facebook.com/icehockeyucsb, Twitter at UCSB Ice Hockey, as well as Instagram, UCSB Ice Hockey. Well, Kyle, now last thing we always do here on the Ice in Paradise postgame show, pick our center ice Santa Barbara 3 stars of the game. If I may start,
go ahead.
My 3rd star of the game, I'm going to be a bit of a admitted goalie honk on this and give it to Lennon Karma for coming in, playing the 40 minutes. He does become the goalie of record, but he also gets the 2 helpers. And now, granted, they're secondary helpers, and he benefits from having, the great play forward by Austin Trenner to give it to Owasiuk, and just a great move and shot from Owasiuk for his 1 goal of the game, and then Barone scoring his second after Piagai played it forward for him. But Karma's been one of the things that the Gauchos have lacked in the previous seasons at the Ice in Paradise era. He's been a reliable backup. Last season, it was almost entirely on the shoulders, the capable shoulders and the tremendous performing shoulders of Nora Penn. The season prior, it was all about Amado Hernandez between the pipes. This year, Karma has been solid when called upon, and I think tonight, getting to feature for 40 minutes in front of the home crowd was a good reward for him in a game where the Gauchos, considering the circumstances, could afford that opportunity.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity for him to be able to jump in, and I thought he had a very good performance. However, I'm going to kind of foil you with that 3rd star as well. I'm going to give it to Miles Kellum of the Santa Rosa Junior College Polar Bears. I thought Miles was very good out there tonight, specifically through the first 2 periods. There were a lot of just outstanding chances that ice hockey at UCSB had. Specifically, you had guys like Cooper Spears, guys like Chris Owasiuk, guys like Colin Delbonis bearing in on breakaways, partial breakaways, getting shots from the mid and low slot. And Kellum was making those 10-bell saves that his team needed at that point to keep the game under control. You forget, this was a 2-goal game at intermission for the 2nd period when the ice cut came out. A large chunk of that, it was a 3-goal game, excuse me. But even then, a large chunk of that was because of the goaltending of Kellum. I think he deserves a little bit of credit, so I'm going to give him my co-3rd star along with you.
Now, are either of us going to differ from 2 and 1? I have Valois 2, Barone 1.
I think we are going to do that as well.
Really?
You're going to give Valois number 2. I'm going to give it to Bobby Rogers because just a star-studded show from the young forward, playing without his normal counterpart in Austin Giardelli. He went out, he commanded the game, did everything that Santa Rosa could possibly ask of him. I think we've got to give him a little bit of credit as well for the performance that he put out there. I think if we want to give the split between him and Valois for that 2nd star of the night, I think that's very justified as well. Not to mention, that last goal, oh man, that was a thing of beauty. I sat up here and just, whoa.
Yeah, it was one of those where you could tell it was absolutely wired, and you can see why.
Ticketed for the top corner nonstop.
Rogers leads the team now with 25 goals on the season. Valois, I thought, was tremendous, particularly in the opening 2 periods.
Oh, outstanding.
The end-to-end rush that he had. That's the sort of thing that you would see back in the 70s Bobby Orr doing. That's not something that you see in the modern-day NHL with any regularity, and it's not something that you see at the ACHA level all that often either. So a sublime moment for the grad student from Davis, Eric Valois. That's why I have him as the 2nd star. And for me, Tyler Barone, the 4 goals that he had, just put the hammer down on the game for the Gauchos and made it sure that the 2 points were going to go in the column for the Gauchos to improve to 6-4 on the season, as well as 4-2 in conference action.
I had Barone as well as my 1st star on the evening. The 4-goal performance, most of them just coming in spectacular fashion, showing that just incredible release he has. Just a very smart player, very strong performance. Seems like he was in the right spot at the right time. Was one of the few Gauchos who was able to kind of get a little bit of space in amongst those defensemen for Santa Rosa. Excellent performance. Absolutely deserving of that 1st star.
Ice hockey at UCSB picks up the 9-4 victory. The next time we'll be on the air with you will be the regular season home finale next Friday. There's a 9:45 scheduled start between the Gauchos and the University of California, Santa Cruz. The last time the Gauchos took on the Banana Slugs, the Ice Slugs, if you will, here at Ice in Paradise last season. It was a 20-4 victory, the largest offensive output by the Gauchos in the Ice in Paradise era. And then, of course, closing out the regular season slate the following night in Simi Valley at the Isoplex. We'll have an audio-only broadcast for that one. Kyle, your final thoughts for tonight, a special night for first responders here in Santa Barbara.
Well, final thoughts. I thought that was a fairly good performance for ice hockey at UCSB. They do have some things they're going to be working on. As Coach Ben Rucker, when he joined us in the second period, said, they're going to have some things they're going to want to really shore up before the playoffs. But nonetheless, also one final thank you to those first responders and the emergency crews that were here, and all of them that dedicated so much time and effort into just all of these communities that were so badly impacted by these natural disasters. We couldn't thank them enough for their service. It was just an absolute pleasure to be able to honor them here tonight.
A special evening for both Santa Rosa and Santa Barbara tonight. The Gauchos get the points and the 9-4 victory, sweeping the season series for the second year in a row against the Santa Rosa Junior College Polar Bears. So until next Friday at 9:45 when the Gauchos take on the UC Santa Cruz Ice Slugs, that'll do it for us here at Ice in Paradise. For cameraman Jesse Gutierrez, for our technical director and statistician Jasmine Kellogg, and my color commentator Kyle Nicolas, my name is Eric Evelhoch. It's been a pleasure to bring you the Ice in Paradise post-game show and coverage of Gaucho hockey on the ice hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Remember, you can follow the Gauchos, facebook.com/UCSB or Ice Hockey UCSB, Twitter, UCSB Ice Hockey. That's the handle on Instagram as well. UCSBHockey.com, your home for Gaucho hockey on the web. Until next Friday when the Gauchos take on UC Santa Cruz, thank you for listening. 9-4 is your final. Good night from Goleta.